my team went in, they got ambushed, they got surrounded. A bunch of us made trips in, pulled people out. My team ended up getting killed.
Yeah, and I think you ended up saving 13 U.S. service members and 23 Afghan soldiers and everything. So, badass. Kudos to you. Obviously, I know it was a while ago and everything, but that's obviously what we all train for, and it's stories like that that keep us motivated and keep us going. So, following that, getting the Medal of Honor, getting out, what was like the biggest transition for you getting out? Obviously, you are a little bit different than the normal corporal or sergeant that does 4 years, getting the DD 214, and then is like about face deuces. You obviously have this story, Medal of Honor recipient. What was kind of the difference between you getting out and then Sergeant Grogan getting out?
Yeah, I would say we got out probably the same. Maybe you probably expected it and I didn't. I didn't have the Medal of Honor until after a year. Didn't even know I was up for the Medal of Honor when I transitioned out of the Marine Corps. I think a lot of people think that, their perception was that I got the medal and then transitioned out. And I had no clue I was even in for a medal. I actually got out because I wanted to go back to Afghanistan or go on the next deployment with the unit, and they told me I couldn't. And so at the point that they weren't going to allow me to redeploy, I got out of the Marine Corps. And I think the transition is the same as it is for everybody. I think that it's a multi-dimensional problem, but I think that, I think the Marine Corps naturally gives you community. I mean, the fundamentals of what makes every human successful is community, people pushing them to be better, standards that they need to meet, and structure. It's something that, if you look at raising children, it's something that makes children more successful. It's a thing that makes people, it's a thing that makes people successful. It makes them thrive. And so, getting out of the Marine Corps, you don't have that. I mean, as much as we hate it, as much as we bitch about it, as much as we complain about it, as much as it's annoying, we get out, and that's why we're lost, because there is none. Mm-hmm. And, so I think that's a hard thing to realize. I think so many service members today, and I try to talk about this a lot, is a bunch get out because they're tired of the bullshit. And, you take majority of our service, the service members, their first real job and responsibilities as an adult is being in the military. And so they get out and they think that all these things that the Marine Corps or the military makes you do is unique to that service. And it's not. It's just unique to adulting. And so, talk about it. Where does majority of people after 6 months of getting out, where do they want to be? Back in, because they realize that the same bullshit that they're tired of is the same bullshit that they deal with when they get out. And so, I think my generation, another piece of it that struggled and made it hard was, we talk about the great skills and the great traits that the Marine Corps and the military teaches you, but we don't talk about the bad ones. We don't talk about the drinking habits that, come along with that. We don't talk about the negativity. We don't talk about these bad habits that we form while we're in, or that are, cultivated while we were in. And then, the one thing that we did terrible, my generation did terrible at, I think we're doing better at it now, is mental health, right? I mean, that was a piece that getting out, we dealt, every emotion that we had in the military was met with drinking and suppression, and right. And the mindset of, emotions are weakness, they're all these things. Sleep is a crutch. I mean, all these things are absolutely detrimental over a long period of time and in the wrong situations. And so I think that a lot of those things have got to be broken and they've got to be changed. And, after getting out of the military and understanding that, that's a big piece.